We seem to have got our connection to Cairo back again, so we're going to continue with Mr. Ahmed Ez, who is a leading member of the ruling party. Mr. Ez, we were talking just before we had some technical problems about the political situation and who and how they can run for office. I want to know how you're going to have some political pluralism and whether or not somebody such as Mr. El Baradei will be able to run. And let me ask you why I ask this. Because somebody, indeed, Mr. Amr Moussa, head of the Arab League, and who's sometimes mentioned as a potential presidential candidate, has said, when asked whether he will run, the road to the presidency is blocked. How do you answer that?
Well, as I was explaining earlier before the technical glitch, our constitution anchors politics in political parties with clear political platforms. There are 24 parties in Egypt. Any of these parties can field candidates in 2011. Half of these parties, for example, have asked Dr. El Baradei to be their candidate of choice. Dr. El Baradei hesitates, preferring instead to run as an independent. My party, the NDP, has made it clear that it welcomes Dr. El Baradei to join the political fray. I wish Dr. El Baradei will do that, because in that situation, he will have to make his position clear on many issues. I have heard Dr. El Baradei says that he is allying with a huge coalition of Egyptians, when in fact he is allying himself with a fringe coalition, either of the extreme left, nurturing old, tried, tested, and failed policies of the 60s, or with an extreme right-wing Muslim brothers who are nurturing democracy a la Ahmadinejad.
Let me break in there, Mr. Ez.
What I want to make clear is, Christian.
Well, you made yourself very clear, Mr. Ez.
If you allow me to...
Let me just ask you, look, for the last 5 times that Mr. Mubarak has run, he's basically been nominated by Parliament, the sole candidate, and then confirmed by a popular referendum. And as you explained, there was a change made under heavy American pressure over the last time in 2005. But it depends entirely on whether one of these legal parties that you talk about actually chooses to nominate somebody, right?
But Dr. El Baradei has been asked by half of the parties to be their candidate of choice. He has a clear path to run for president in 2011. It appears to me that the only obstacle to a Dr. El Baradei candidacy is Dr. El Baradei himself.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. You say that he wants to run as an independent and that that's not possible, but the Muslim Brotherhood had to run as independents last time. The other big question is, obviously, this state of emergency, these special emergency powers that have been in effect for nearly 30 years, are clearly having a major effect on the ability to conduct politics or political life. Is there any hope of this emergency law being amended or being put aside, and a special anti-terrorism law coming in, as you say, has been debated, because it's affecting all aspects of life in Egypt?
Christian, that is inaccurate. In this heightened level of security awareness in the world, every country is grappling with how better to protect its citizens, including Egypt, and it has always been controversial. You have your Patriot Act. Our emergency law is our Patriot Act. That has only and exclusively been used to either combat terror or to avert the threat of terror. In no way has it been used to suppress either political or social or economic life. Of late, we have uncovered plots by Hezbollah, cells by Hezbollah in Egypt, plots to attack vessels in the Suez Canal. So basically, it's Code Red Alert in Cairo, 365 days of the year. We look forward to a day when we do away with the emergency law that, again, is our Patriot Act, only used to combat terrorism, but that will only happen when the Middle East is at peace with itself.
Oh my goodness.
Then we at the NDP will be the first to want to do away with that law.
All right, now that may be a very long time from now, and everybody understands that the fight against terrorism globally has to go ahead. But the question is then, why are some of these laws used to crush political rallies, for instance, as happened earlier this month when the police really did break up in a harsh way what was a peaceful rally? Why does that have to happen?
Christian, walking into my parliamentary chambers, if I can use the term, every day, I am in my face faced with good Egyptians who are demonstrating en bloc for either political or economic or other grievances every day in my life, in parliament that is. So that caricature image of an Egypt that is stifling dissent with no plurality, with no freedom of expression is far from the mark. There are at least, at last count, 240 publications in Egypt, 15 TV networks. Dr. El-Baradei, for example, the little time that he is in Egypt, last time that is, has appeared on almost every newspaper of reference, on the front page, continued to hold political rallies, has visited the Al-Azhar Mosque, has been on every single talk show. So, I mean, that notion of combating by force political dissent or political pluralism in Egypt is not true.
All right, Mr.
There may be an aberration now and then from either side.
Mr. Ez, on that note, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Ahmed Ez of the ruling party in Egypt.